Everybody in chat, I just want to show you that this is actually my chart, and this is kind of fun. UrbanPharaoh and I are born on the same day. Not the same year, but same day. So I do want you all to see something that is of pattern here. I am born on December 28th, and I have 58, 18, 58's here, 18's here, as my shining light out into the world. UrbanPharaoh has 5818 as his shining light out into the world too. So I just think it's fun that we're both born on the same day, and they're so different though, because I'm about the network and the role model, and you're about trial and error and being the martyr of it all, the pharaoh of it all. Okay. I'm just going to close this. I do want to show you that the right angle cross of service is you, though. And I am the right angle cross of service, too. It's just a bunch of fun stuff. But you can obviously see that, like, the numbers aren't even the same. Let's go to Pluto. 28, 18. This is a 10. This is a 9. This is a 26. This is a 50. So, like, everything's different. Oh, you're born on November 11th? Nice. That is Canadian Remembrance Day. All right. So, Girl Scouts and Gemstones, when I do this particular experience, I actually don't interact with chat at all. Why? Because this is a paid experience, and I want the person who had the paid experience to get what they paid for. All right. So, moderators, if things get too crazy, you can just put it on subscriber chat only. All right. Welcome in, everybody. What we're doing here today is human design. Human design, it's going to be a 3-part process today. What is human design? How do you say your yes and no? And a little bit of brain candy. So we do have to work up this particular experience so that whatever I'm saying at the end kind of makes sense. So let's start out. What is human design? Human design is a person's energetic blueprints, and it allows them to understand who they are at the very basic levels. Your energetic blueprints, your user manual of life, or long story short, this is how a person or you says your yes and no. So, UrbanPharaoh, that's human design. It allows you to understand your true yes and no. Now, human design also brings us back to who we are. When we're born into a society. We're born into a sex, maybe a religion. Now, I do know some things about you, so I'm going to say a few things. When you went to the church, you were conditioned to be a very particular thing. You said that you grew up in the boulevards, and so that was a particular experience that conditioned you to be a particular way. So life experiences change us. You're a boy, you like blue. You're a girl, you like pink. People force us to be something that we're not. At work, we have to be something different because our bosses expect us to be a certain way, and our clients do too. And even if you are your own boss, you have to have a certain level of efficiency that you expect yourself to do, right? So people change themselves, especially on Twitch, where, there is a TOS of life. that we have to adhere to. So human design is bringing us back to who we were before all of those conditioning things happened. Yeah, it's just bringing us back to who we are. All right, so that's part one already done. Part two is I don't want to start out this experience without saying the word generator. UrbanPharaoh, Paul, you are a generator. If you were to reference yourself in the human design system, you would say, I am a generator. Just like you would if you were a Capricorn. That's the only reason why I know Capricorn, because we're both born on the same day. And for someone like myself who is not studied or educated within the astrology community, I don't know what Capricorn means at all, but there's a lot of different things that it could mean to somebody who is educated. Now over here in the human design system, the word generator, it's you're just meant to hear it. There is a lot of things that it does mean, but it's what that's what you are over here in the human design system. I'm a generator. Okay. So as a generator, we are told, how do you, Paul, UrbanPharaoh, say your yes and no? I have to clear my throat. Hold on. All right. Let's bring out my mouse. Whether we're talking to Paul or we're talking to anybody in chat, the word strategy and authority means your response mechanism, your choice mechanism. How do you say your yes and no? Yeah, unfortunately, you do have the possibility to say yes in giving your both kidneys to people, and I'll point that out in your chart, where and why and how. So, the point of part two right now is to understand how you say your yes and no. Part three is going to be the extra brain candy. So we're going to run through how you say your yes and no, UrbanPharaoh. Strategy, authority, your response mechanism. How do you make your choices in life? This is always a two-part mechanism. Strategy and authority. We're eventually going to get into this pretty little diagram over to the left, but we're just going over all the words here on the right first. So two-part mechanism, strategy and authority. To respond, it actually happens to come from this red sacral center here. This red sacral center here, it has this juicy life force energy where it just pulls people, places, things in life, experiences towards you in life. So, regarding this sacral, this vortex-like energy of yours pulling experiences towards you in life, the first part of your strategy or your choice mechanism is to wait to respond. Now, what does that even mean? Waiting to respond means you're waiting to see what comes at you in life. Not pre-planning every little thing and how identical these details should be and making sure everything goes exactly the way it should. Response means to wait to see what comes at you, waiting to respond, because we've been conditioned our whole life to act a certain way in a particular response, even if we don't want to. Just let me get my thoughts back on track. Right. We're talking about waiting to respond. So we've just been conditioned to act a certain way because it's been deemed acceptable by society. So what we're waiting to respond to is, firstly, we're waiting to decondition all of that crap we've been taught. And then we're waiting for life to come at us so that we can respond to what it is that comes at us. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and don't disengage with life. No. I know you're a person who goes to the movies. You're a person who enjoys having the bonfires. You're a person who does engage with life. I'm not telling you to stop that. You do take your energy for a walk to see if that's what you want to do. You went uptown to see if those sea cans were something that you want to do, and I want to go back, right? So you do take your energy for a walk to see, once you get there, if it's for you or not, what happens. So that's actually part one of your choice mechanism, waiting. Once again, waiting means stopping all of this stuff that you're used to acting on and waiting for life to come at you. Why do I even say it that way? Waiting for life to come at you means that you're not out there planning and initiating all of these things that you think you should happen. When you're planning, initiating, and you have all of these ideas in your head of how things should look and how the outcome should be, that's you planning and initiating, and that's not necessarily where your energy should be. You should definitely have the feels of what the outcome should be and let yourself go for that energetic walk that I told you about. So you're waiting to respond instead of having this agenda with this specific goal in mind. Waiting to see what happens instead of trying to keep on being busy, busy, busy with your energy. Making sure that every moment of your day is filled up. So that was part one of your choice mechanism, but here's part two, sacral. So yeah, your generator aura comes from your sacral. Waiting to respond comes from your sacral, and your inner authority comes from your sacral. Yeah, that means that everything for you is about your sacral. Just something to keep in mind. Now, regarding your sacral, people who have been gifted this generator aura have these guttural sounds like or the thing is that when I come into your jet and you're like, Kayleigh, to me that's like a guttural sound, even though it's my name. Some days you're just like, oh, hey, Katie. But some days you're like, Kayleigh. So, like, I can tell on the days when you don't have energy or not. Welcome in, Dead Chrome. So, what is a response? It's oh. Or maybe it's those guttural sounds like a baby. Maybe you like something like ooh or ah. When a baby doesn't like something, they're like eh. So your sacral, UrbanPharaoh, is your gift to understand what is correct for you or not. Your gut will tell you what you have energy for or not. And luckily enough for you, you also have this connection over to your spleen, which tells you what is correct for you and your body and what is healthy for you or not. So, we're getting a little bit complicated here. I'll get into that in the brain candy. But what does your sacral sound like? Well, maybe something came at you and you're like, ew. Well, that's a clear indication. Don't do it. If something's happening over and over and over, is a clear indication. for you. Um, if you like something, ooh, yeah, let's try it. Your body might move towards it if you like it. Maybe your body repulses or is in repulsion towards something when it's not correct for you. Just automatically move away from something and you don't know why, but it just is. That is how you do say your yes and no. Uh-huh, I don't know. Maybe your body folds in on itself when you don't like it. Maybe your body sits up straight and listens more when you like it. So, Paul, UrbanPharaoh, do you recognize any of these guttural sounds inside of you? Or maybe, like myself, you were deconditioned away from those sounds. My parents used to slap me on the hands when I was a kid. Say your yes, say your no. Not even your yes, not even your nah. You have to say yes or no, because that's what society expects. Nice. I'm glad that you recognize some of that. So, part one, wait. Don't don't act on what you initially do. See what life throws at you so you can choose. Once again, I'm not saying don't just sit there with your thumb up your bottom, but engage with life, see what you want to do, and see if when you put yourself in there, if it's something that your body still responds to or not. So, yes, for all of you beautiful human beings who are here right now, I do want to tell you that what we just went over is a $50 experience. And I'm going to be finishing the $50 experience now. But Paul's my friendo. I want to give him more. This is going to be finishing off the $50 experience. Now, let's just say that you decide to say your uh-huh and you follow that uh-huh. Well, then you are allowing your purpose to flow through you. Your purpose is the right angle cross of service. If your body says uh-huh and you're like, nah, I'm too afraid or I don't have enough money for that right now, then you are taking a sidestep away from your purpose and you'll most likely see frustration. So frustration is a key indicator for you, UrbanPharaoh, that something is not correct in your life. Or something just needs to change. Or, long story short, you've taken a step off your path of purpose in life. So I'm going to ask you, UrbanPharaoh, is there frustration in your life? Now I'm going to ask you again, where do you see frustration in your life? Regarding that frustration, I'm not telling you that you need to quit something or start something, but what needs to change to make things better? Now, don't get your brain all involved, but what does your body say? What does your body move towards next? Does it say uh-huh or uh-uh? What does it do in the moment? Because that's what your body is about, in the moment, because it understands what is correct and healthy for you in the moment. Now, I can't talk about profile. An incarnation cross is a whole different 2-hour reading. But regarding profile, profile is your behavioral costume in life. The reason why I'm not doing profile is because we don't have your exact time of birth. But your behavioral costume in life, what does that even mean? When you start making correct decisions for yourself based on who you are, then your profile, your behavioral and costume life is going to start to reveal itself or start to emerge. This is how you see yourself and others see you. If this was your correct profile, then you're a person who just trials and errors things, sees the holes in things, you bump into things, and you see how you can make them better. And you're the person who is seen as the person who people put their expectations of the world on your shoulders, really. So the fact that you call yourself Urban Pharaoh, you recognize that you're a person who holds a lot of weight on your shoulders. So you're a person who trials and errors, and you are the Pharaoh of that trial and error process. Now, growing up, people might have said, "What's wrong with you? Why did you break that again?" But that's not the issue. There's nothing wrong with you. Thank you for finding that error, Urban Pharaoh. Without you, and without seeing the things that you've processed, the world would not be able to move forward without solid foundations. So thank you for finding those errors. And from now on, if people ever say, "What's wrong with you?" in those issues, say, "Oh," um, instead of them saying that, what they should be saying is, "Thank you for finding those errors. How can we fix it together? Let's work on it together." So, if anybody's ever said that, um, yeah, you're clumsy, or felt like you're clumsy, or just break things, it's just you. You're meant to, and don't let anybody make you feel otherwise. I explained it anyways. Damn it. But yeah, that's when a person fits more into their profile. That's like, let's just say that you're a person who's 4 foot. Let's do it the other way around. Let's just say that you're a person who's 6 foot, and on the in the play of life, somebody tried to give you a costume who was for a person who was 4 foot. It wouldn't feel nice. It would probably burst open and break. So this profile is you getting your proper costume so that you can fit into it properly in life. And for me, it feels quite comfortable. Like when I started fitting into my costume properly, I started loving myself more and more. And even though I said yesterday or even today that, I saw my body as chonky still, I still love myself. It is what it is. I just saw myself as, a negative aspect in that particular moment. So, we do love Urban Pharaoh. Urban Pharaoh donated Mula Mula for this experience. So you're a generator here to respond uh-huh and uh-uh. And when you follow that uh-huh, or you follow that uh-uh when it gives you that ping, then you're automatically allowing your purpose to flow through you. If you do the opposite of what your body tells you to do, then you are going to see frustration in your life. Um, no, you awesome. You awesome. Now we're going to go into a part three. Actually, there's a whole different part three. We're going into the brain candy because Urban Pharaoh's been so supportive. They even donated $10 yesterday, and always giving gifts and complimenting and shouting out, yada yada. We're going to go further into the brain candy for Urban Pharaoh. All right, so Urban Pharaoh, what you see here in the center, you see a bunch of numbers, lines, and geometrical shapes. What I want you to focus on right now are the geometrical shapes. You'll notice that some of these shapes are colored in, and some of them are white. So these geometrical shapes, firstly, they're called centers, and the ones that are colored in are called defined. Definition. What this means is that this is who you are, and this is what you put out into the world. All the definition, all the defined parts, all of the colored in parts. This is you. Reliable, consistent. And the white parts in your chart, that is inconsistent and unreliable. So, therefore, it is not you. We don't rely on it. What does that mean, though? Well, it tells you who you are. How do we get that definition in the chart, though? Well, you'll notice up on the right-hand side, you see the word personality above the black list of numbers. This black list of numbers was captured the moment you were born. They are aware to you. They are conscious. So you might try to control this aspect of yourself more than anything. And over here on the left side, you see the word design up in the top. This is a list of characteristics that defines you. and they were captured about 88 days before you were born. They are unconscious too, though. So you might actually try to avoid these aspects of yourself, or try to like be like, oh, where'd that come from, when it actually comes popping out again. Okay, well, what do I even mean by that? So you see 18 here, you see 18 here. Well, it's actually colored in this 18 here with red. You see this 58 here, it's colored in here. This 29 here, it's here. So if you just literally take all the numbers and rearrange them into the graph, you'll find all the numbers inside the graph. And when two numbers happen to make each other, this is a gate, two gates together make a channel. When there's a channel, both sides of that channel make definition. That's how she goes. I know it's a lot of jargon, but this is the brain candy aspect of it all. So, who are you? Well, we already told you, UrbanPharaoh, that you have this GC life force energy that describes who you are, pulling life towards you. And the reason that this is defined is because there's a channel moving towards this sacral and this bottom square here, which is called the root. But firstly, we're going to go over all of the centers. So you do have this fixed understanding of what is correct for you in timing and pressure. You understand your own adrenaline and when things need to get done. You, over here to the right, this is the left brown triangle. This is the spleen. This is about intuitive awareness. This is about understanding what is correct for you, health-wise, body-wise, and maybe at like the most caveman primal kind of way. Food, health, shelter. Understanding what's correct for you or not. Both support systems, people, places, and things. All right, so this brown square in the middle of the chart here at the top, third from the top, this is called the throat center. This is about manifestation, metamorphosis. And this upside down green triangle, this is called the ajna. This is about conceptualization, formalization, structuring. So you have a fixed way of conceptualization and a fixed way of manifesting what is coming out of your head. So if we're going to synthesize all of those centers together, what is this for you? Well, you are a person who understands what is correct for them by saying uh-huh or uh-uh, because you will have the correct timing of understanding what is correct for you in the now, so that you can conceptualize what is from your head and manifest it and metamorphosize it at the proper timing for you. And when the proper timing is correct for you, then the proper timing is correct for everybody. So, just a synthesis of these centers here. Now, we're going to move more towards the channels. Welcome back. Right here, this is the channel of judgment, a design of insatiability. Now, this is what you put out into the world. The person who created this system calls this the channel of the bitch. You know, nitpicking and seeing the what's wrong in the system and judging it, and so but the thing is that you're insatiable. You have this vitality for life, and you just want what's best for everybody. And the thing is that, you know, you are going to correct things that is going to bring everybody, the collective, to the better. So your energy, your cross of service, you're here to be of better, to be a judge, to judge things so that the collective can be in a better spot collectively. And that's the same with me. I agree with that with me. You with your talking with pasture, or talking with children, as a pastor, I totally see it. And me with my human design and my previous job, the mental health of my my teams, right? I tried to advocate for the mental health of my team, but I lost my job instead. So, you actually understand what is quite healthy for you and what is not healthy for you. And the thing is, though, Pharaoh, is that you have the chance of becoming sick before you even realize that you're sick. So if people say you look under the weather, maybe you should take it to heart, because you have the chance of burning yourself out, being a generator, overdoing, running around like a bunny. So, um, this here is the channel of concentration, a design of determination. A lot of people wish that they had this particular channel because this is the one that gives you the focus. This is the one that gives you the determination to be able to sit still and move mountains. So when you put together all of those packs, when you sit down and put together all of those things for your stream, it's really correct for you. I have half of this channel, and this is what allows me to sit down and concentrate / focus on doing these dottings. So I've responded to, oh my God, I want to do this. And I'm going to do it. So you're a person who is able to sit down and focus and concentrate. Maybe that's why you are able to do such long streams as compared to me. Because you can do it longer. Maybe you have more energy than me. I'm not sure. Maybe you're more in your true self than I am. Because I'm burnt out. So, so both of these channels are collective. You are being still and moving things, moving mountains, not just for you, but for the collective. You're not just judging something for you. You're judging something for the collective. You're not just insatiable for you. You're insatiable for life in the collective. Okay, so this leads me to your last channel. The thing is that you'll notice that it looks like a candy cane. There's some black, some red. That means that you have both conscious awareness and unconscious awareness of this aspect of who you are. The thing is that I notice that most of it, or all of it, is here. You probably... I don't have all of my stuff here with me, but your environment will be that of individuality or a channel of structuring. So this is where I told you that you are that freak to genius or genius to freak, where people don't recognize your genius. So you'll be a freak until they recognize your individuality, and then you're a genius. So the thing is that you are here to structure, to break things down, to assimilate, to put it back together once again with this trial and error process. But your environment, both in the past and in the future, where you're going from and where you're going to, is literally all environment. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're just the freak. It means that maybe other people are freaks too, because it's in your environment, right? So you're going to meet other genius to freaks or other individuals that are of Pharaoh quality, or you are going to meet other genius and freaks that do require that trial and error process in order for their life to be better. So I am a genius to freaks, so I'm in your environment, you're in my environment, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, you are a person who's quite individual. The thing is that you are here to this is a deaf channel. You're not here to hear what other people have to say. Some people might say, why can't you hear? Why can't you just listen? Why don't you just, maybe you only hear it on the 17th time you're told. It's because you're not meant to be mutated by the other. When you are acting yourself, responding to life, or you're going to have those assimilations. You're going to have those breakthroughs. You're going to have those structurings. You're going to become that genius from a freak. And when you are acting your true self, becoming deaf to what you need to be deaf to, that is when you are going to become inspirational to the collective. The collective will pick up on what you have conceptualized and see it, that it does need to be judged and maybe changed, or that they recognize that you are moving mountains and that you're insatiable for life, and you will be recognized through that inspirational genius of who you are. Now, I just want to look at something here. You might be well aware that you are a joyous person in life, and I'm well aware that I was a joyous person before my allergies hit me. So you are well aware that you are this joyous person. But you might not be so aware that you're a person who corrects things, working on what has been spoiled. And this is actually where that being spoiled comes from. Not only do you see what has been spoiled, but you are here to be spoiled as well. Same with me, I'm here to be spoiled. And I expect it. Yeah, so not only are you working on what is spoiled, but you are here to be spoiled as well. So you understand what is risky and worth being risky for. You understand who has the talent or not. You also do have the values of the tribe, and you do have a lot of depth as well. You do want to be spoiled, and I recognize that in you too. um, this is about details too. It's funny because like I have this and I have this, and like I see myself as a stick in the mud. But like a lot of people see me as like risky and like aloof. Okay, so we did give you an overview of what you are, who you are. You are a person who is here to judge what has been spoiled so that you can, because you do have the concentration when you respond, to have that focus to be able to structure things so that what needs to be structured can be structured in the most healthy and proper way for both you and the other. So let's talk about the white stuff in your chart. What is the white stuff again? This is inconsistent, unreliable. So when you are acting your not self, this is where you're going to find yourself trying to be something that you're not. So if you're in your head trying to act who you are, then these are the centers that you're going to find yourself in this particular one right here, in this little gate. I'll explain that to you in a second. So let's start from the top here. This is the head center. This is where you, if you're in your not self, you are trying to be inspirational, or you are trying to be inspired, or you're answering everybody else's questions that don't matter. So this is where you're at work and you can find yourself picking up everybody else's work that doesn't belong to you. Oh, where's the keys? Well, I don't know, but I'm going to try to find them just because I want to relieve that mental pressure. So I bet if you don't know the answer, Pharaoh, I bet you will find the answer in your not self. UrbanPharaoh's the guy who has all the answers. Stop it. It's not you. Do you respond to answering or or are you just being a nice guy? As a person who is in a streaming possibility, you know, I've seen you actually divert this, which is awesome. When you're playing your wrestling, creating characters, you're like, I am creating characters for people who have been in the community a while. And new people are like, make a character of me. And you're like, on to the next topic. So let's just keep on talking about the awesomeness that we have here. I've already told you we're making long-standing characters, right? So you're not trying to be inspirational by forcing yourself to do that just to like be a nice guy. So I like the fact that you turn them down. For real. So, my cat's trying to kiss me. I actually like this one here. This is called the G Center. It's open. Now, this is where if you're in your not self, you're trying to plan and overcompensate for trying to understand where you're going in life, who you are, your identity, what you're supposed to love. So it's correct for you to ask the question, who am I today? Who am I going to be tomorrow? Who was I yesterday? Because it's always going to change. If you pick up something for 3 days and then put it down, don't ever let anybody make you feel guilty for doing that. If you're not supposed to finish it, you're not supposed to finish it. I think that this here is so beautiful because this undefined gives a person a great compass in life. If you walk into a place, UrbanPharaoh, and you're like, get the F out, because your compass is telling you, along with your G center and your health and intuition center, your spleen, this is not the proper opportunity, not having the proper experiences with the proper people. Have a great day. Thank you so much for being here, AJ. So you're a person, like, if you walk into a place and you're like, nope, just see what experience you're going to have if you don't leave. Will you end up frustrated? Or the thing is that you'll never know what opportunities you could have had if you just have went to the other movie instead. So, I think this is beautiful. It'll give you a great idea of where you should be going. Never let anybody make you feel bad about the things that you do or don't do, or complete or don't complete, because your energy knows exactly what you're here to complete or not. Now, we're going to go over here to the very right. This is called the solar plexus, and you'll see that there's not one gate attached to it, which means that you can feel the complexities of this full experience here. I don't have this defined either, but I do have one gate. But the thing is that you have the capability of amplifying emotions quite easily. You know, somebody could start talking at you and you can feel their agitation, so you instantly feel agitated even though they're not agitated. And then you're like, I'm agitated now. Why are you talking to me like that? So it's just like you have the chance to amplify emotions. So that's actually where it comes from, is over here. So even if your wife walks into the room and she's like, my day was fine, and you're like, dude, I can tell you that you had the worst day ever, and you're not even saying anything, I can just feel your emotional presence settle into the house right now. So that's if your wife is defined, that is. It's highly likely she is, or somebody else in your house is highly defined. But my man is defined, and as soon as he walks through the door, I'm just like, ugh, what happened today? You know? I can feel it. So, this particular center is the center of trying to be the nice guy, not trying to rock any boats. You know, this is where little white lies might start as, oh, you have a nice, do you like my hair or my haircut? And the answer is actually no, but you're like, yeah. Or so like you don't want to avoid confrontation or truth so that you don't hurt people's feelings. Or I just don't like going to baby showers because I don't like the questions that are being asked there. So I avoid going to baby showers because I don't want to be asked, when are you having a baby? When are you getting married? Because those questions really don't matter to me. F you is what I really want to say. So I just drop off a present and I run. Or this is when a person is telling too many truths, you know, and they get themselves in trouble. This is also where a person puts on their mask. And for me, I put on a mask because when I was bullied, I was like, well, people don't really know who I am because I have a mask on. They don't know me. They're not really hurting me. They're hurting the mask. So you don't, in this particular center, you don't want to rock any boats, make any waves. So you have a potential to be a yes guy here. So before I even get on to the next center, I want to synthesize these three centers together as a not self. So remember, if you are going against what your energy is telling you, if you're planning an agenda of what you think what should be happening in life, you might be saying things like, oh, well, I need to know the answers so that I have the direction in life. I need to make sure that I am in emotional control so that I know Not necessarily I know that people will love me, but it could be. Um, I am going to wear a mask so that I have this identity. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has this open, and he wears a mask completely. He's The Rock, right? But once again, you might find yourself saying yes so that you just don't rock the boat. Of course, I'm going to answer all your questions at work. I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to rock any boats. I'm not going to make any waves. I'm the new employee in the new team. Of course, I'm going to answer all of that so we can all have a new direction. All right, so I purposely left this little one to the last. This is your heart center. It's not about love, it's about willfulness and commitment. You're like, well, my commitment center and willfulness doesn't have any access to consistent energy. No, it doesn't. That doesn't mean that you can't commit to things. That doesn't mean you can't be willful. But the things that you should commit to are heard through your uh-huh or uh-uh. Did your body walk towards it or walk away from it in that moment? What is your body saying? Uh-huh. I will. So I bet when you're in a group of people, you get all excited, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to commit to that. And then you walk away, you're like, oh my God, why did I just commit to that? I know I don't even have the energy already. So just make sure that when you're making decisions that you're listening to your energy, uh-huh, uh-uh, or you're just going to end up frustrated. Let's just say that your wife wants to do a paint the fence project by herself. I don't want any help, but you're like, I'm going to help you because I'm a nice guy. I'm going to help you. I'm going to willfully help you so we can have a direction together, and I'm going to be the person who's going to help you endure your emotions as you paint the fence. Well, she didn't ask you to. Are you only doing it because you want to keep busy? You're probably going to find yourself frustrated. The work that you do, she's probably just going to paint over again because it's not going to be good enough. So allow life to come to you. Hey, Paul, can you help me paint this part of the fence? And then it's for you to see if you have the energy or not at that particular moment. Or say, yeah, babes, I don't have the energy at this particular moment, but can you ask me in a minute? Or like maybe tomorrow I'll have the energy. So you are here to make commitments based on what you have the energy for. And no more. If you are a person who is here using their energy properly, you're going to drop into bed and fall asleep instantly. But if you're acting not self, you're going to roll around frustrated, overthinking of all the things that could have happened, should have happened. I think that people telling you how much sleep that you should get is wrong. If you were only sleeping 3 to 4 hours, fine. If you only sleep 5 hours, fine. That means that you're using your energy more correctly than anybody else that I know. If you're not tired, good for you. Because you are also a generator as you sleep. I bet you feel like you work as you sleep too, eh? Because I feel like I work as I sleep. And to summarize it all up, you're a person who might feel like you have something to prove. You have nothing to prove, not even to yourself. You might feel like you need to prove your emotions, prove that you're in control of your material direction, in control of your direction, identity, and you're in control of how inspirational you are. But that's not who you are. Nor is this. You feel like you may not have enough skill to be the person that you want to be. What's wrong with me? I don't have enough skill. There's nothing wrong with you. You have enough skill. You have so much depth, and you're aware of the depth that you have. And the skills that you need will come along. So don't just go looking for all those skills. Your body will tell you what you have the energy for. So there's no skills that you need extra at this particular moment, except for those that your body responds to in the moment to fulfill your purpose. So what are you here to do, Urban Pharaoh? You're here to say uh-huh and uh-uh. And that is what you are here to do, to allow your purpose to flow through you. Your gut is telling you where you should be going. Your body is giving you indicators of where you are going. Frustration is the key indicator of you not doing you, Urban Pharaoh. Urban Pharaoh, where are you frustrated in life? Now it is the time to see if you want to experiment with this uh-huh and uh-uh. Try it out. For I don't ask people to trust me at all. I ask people to go out and experiment with it. Does your uh-huh and uh-uh bring more satisfaction to your life and less frustration? For me, it surely has. Somehow I'm my lowest weight in my life and I don't even work out. And I used to work out 8 days a week and I wasn't even there. 8 times a week, rather. Yeah. Life is great using human design.